How to collaborate remotely. So we know how to reach out to people, how to find why to collaborate, how to find and reach out to people. So how do you actually go about collaborating remotely? I could think of two ways to do it. There's the kind of out of real-time approach, which is file sharing, which is the way they did it for that video that we watched, the middle, where one person starts a project. There was a few people in the same room that started that project, but then sends it on to another person, and then you send files back and forth and back and forth. The other way is that you can write together on a Zoom call in real time. You don't have to use Zoom. That's like Zoom or equivalent, but from my experience, Zoom is like the industry standard, even though it's terrible. Yeah. File sharing. So, things to think about when you're file sharing. Be clear what you're looking for. Send files using WeTransfer or Dropbox. Set up a WhatsApp group for fast communication. I would say this method, file sharing, I don't know like how many people here are like electronic music producers, but so when I started out, I had no experience top lining. So this was kind of the best method for collaboration because it's better to leave like experts to do that bit. I feel like I would have just hindered on sessions then. When you get a bit further down your career, you might want to learn to write songs yourself as a producer because there's kind of this new generation of producers which can do both. Music's always getting more competitive. So if you can do both, you're going to put yourself above the people that can only do one thing, which means eventually you will want to get on calls with singer-songwriters and learn how to songwrite yourself, which is writing via a Zoom call. Be aware of time differences when scheduling. So this is like a flipping nightmare because when I started, it wasn't until like my 5th release where I actually collaborated with someone based in the UK. I mainly collaborate with people based in LA, a lot of musicians based in LA. LA is 9 hours behind us, so they don't get up until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, our time. So you've got to be aware of that. If you're collaborating with people over there, that you're not going to get a reply until the afternoon. Once did a songwriting session with a guy in Australia, 12 hours behind or ahead? 12 hours ahead. Yeah, so completely like flip the clock on his head, which is a nightmare. Research your collaborators and understand their style. Use a Google Doc for writing lyrics. That's kind of like standard in these sessions because on a Google Doc, everyone can like add to it at the same time. Make a WhatsApp group for easy communication, again, and follow up. We mentioned that earlier. Someone mentioned that earlier, I think. So yeah, someone's going to have to take charge on the whole process. If you are the producer, that usually comes down to you. There are a few alternatives, but this is just one I know about. Lambda, who do that kind of online, they have that online mastering tool, which I've never used, but they've just released this, which is Lambda Sessions, which you can stream your DAW audio in very good quality. So for anyone that is currently collaborating and wants to take things a little bit further, if you've got like partners that you're always collaborating with, try this out. Another option, songwriting camps. Songwriting camps can often be held online. Generally, songs written at one of these will later be pitched to more successful artists. Heartbreak Anthem, that we talked about earlier, was written in this way. Many foreign Eurovision entries are written at songwriting camps in the UK. So foreign Eurovision entries are written at songwriting camps in the UK. In fact, the UK is one of the centres of the world for global music creation. So it's a great place to be from in the music industry. Singer that I work with a lot wrote the Spanish entry for the last Eurovision. And she's not from the UK, she's from America, but I don't think she can speak any Spanish. So just to show you how some of these songs are written. Things to consider when collaborating. Quality takes time. you will get unsuccessful songwriting sessions. Don't expect everything to go well. From my experience, I'd say you get good results out of about 50% of the songwriting sessions you do. Some will just turn up with nothing, especially if you're collaborating with new people who maybe aren't that talented. Try to work with skilled collaborators. This is hard when you're starting out because it's difficult to get skilled collaborators to work with you. But from my experience, it's not worth working with people under your skill set. You'll just end up spending more time than it's worth. Try to find skilled collaborators to work with. Consistency is key. Work with the same people whenever possible, because when you work with the same people, you get on their wavelength, you'll get a good workflow and you'll get things done faster.